see him drop some bombs here. There you go. They're rushing us pretty hard right now. I do like the voice actors there. Quite a lot going on trying to stop this behemoth from coming in. Look at that. It's incredible. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to be playing DUST FRONT RTS, one of the most wish-listed games right now on Steam. So I highly recommend that you guys build a strike force as you play the match. You're able to call in reinforcements, which is actually key to you being able to overwhelm the swarm of mutants. So before we get too far into the video, majority of you guys come back for the videos, but over 90% of you are not subscribed. So if you can smash that subscribe button, like and share, and hype the video, it would definitely help our channel grow. You can also support us through visiting our veteran-owned clothing brand, which you can check out there. Thank you guys so much for coming and spending your time here. We do appreciate it. It means the world to us. So the first time I played this, actually really funny. There's a couple fundamental things that I did not know, including the strike groups. And the enemy just kept calling in these massive reinforcements every time. I almost destroyed their base. They just kept calling in massive reinforcements, and it felt impossible to beat them. You have the ability to adjust certain parts, including enemy difficulty, size of enemy bases. So welcome to DUST FRONT. The nice thing is, when you first play this game, they actually explain everything to you. There's a little tutorial that you can go through. I'm not going to sit through the whole thing and show you, but it's very basic, and I think it explains it very well. So if you hold Alt and scroll, you can actually zoom in very, very far and rotate. There were some people saying that you can't zoom in. That's not true. Unfortunately, right now, rebinding your keys is not available, and in development, definitely needs to happen. Hopefully they will also have a replay system for matches. I feel like that's pretty fundamental for base building RTS games. Let's go over everything very quickly. So if you see this white outline here, which is the box, this is where you can deploy things. Okay, line of sight is important. It's actually interesting. I feel like the maps are generated procedurally because it seems like they're different every time. So there you go. If you hold it, you just click it and rotate. Literally just left click and rotate. You can do that. So one funny thing that I didn't know about these massive dreadnoughts is that they can actually pick up. You can actually see. So if you zoom in, you can actually see tracks right there in the back. So this thing can actually pick up and move, which I did not know the first time that I played this. And trying to beat the enemy with just regular tanks and infantry, even if you don't have the MLRS, is very difficult, to say the least. So this is what I'm talking about. This is like when you start out the match, it's pretty much, this is your main command building. Can't let this be destroyed, obviously. Everything that we deployed here in the beginning is actually kind of like your reinforcements. So before we get started, let's talk about the objectives. If your buildings are destroyed, you will be defeated. Basically, if your base gets destroyed, you're donezo. If you destroy enemy factories and hold specific points, you will win the game. Now, this is actually kind of important. You guys see the blue marks here on the map. They're actually key defensive buildings that the enemy holds that you need to actually eliminate. And that includes over here as well. So just taking the zone is not good enough. In order to hold the zone, you have to either have a large army presence outnumbering the enemy. So in the settings, when you do enemy base size, each zone is already held by the enemy, and you have to take it from them. It's not like you both start at a point on the map and you try to capture zones, which I'm sure PvP will be like that, but they're already encamped. They already have defensive structures, all kinds of stuff to make it hard for you to take the point, which you guys will see that right now. So first thing you build, resource building, of course. I would recommend you be very proactive. So you hit E right there. You're going to see it pack up and move, which I did not know you could do for the longest time ever. Double click on the same unit. So we're going to wait for the interceptor here. What we could do as well, drop some things there. We're actually going to have some of our troops come in here. So one of our abilities is to call these guys in. You have different AT teams and some strong infantry. It's always good to have a good balance of things. So we're going to try to encroach here. I do wish... Oh, there you go. See how you can drag it, and it does a formation. It should anyway. So there you go. You can do formations. Let's get a plane up in the air. So recon's very, very important. So we are being very proactive here. I would recommend that you build your power right away. You know, you have your resource gatherers. Make sure you have enough power, and also start building defense structures to help these massive towers out, like flamethrowers and turrets. Here you have different capabilities. We have a heavy bombs, incendiary trail, which is like napalm, and of course we can airdrop troops. And our first reinforcements coming in 13 seconds, so you guys will see that there soon too. Let's go to the defensive structure here and build some turrets to support our massive cannons, which cannot on their own defend against a lot of spam units. So you guys already see a lot of critters walking around. I will tell you that the mutants are very strong, and you guys can see you do have a destructive environment, which is awesome. You can also select this. Here we go. Our first reinforcement. So we actually have a choice of what we want to call in. But I'm obviously going to call that in because it's my first deck. But check this out. You can actually press R and destroy specific locations if you want to. Yeah, look at that swarm. Look at this. Let's talk about the swarm here, or the mutants. I feel like they should be called the swarm, but the mutants. Stomach prey. My god, are these things annoying. I'm pretty sure this is the thing, the building, that spawns these little tentacle things that come out of the ground. They act as a defensive structure. So here you go. What we're going to do is what's called a creeping defense. Do it like that. I actually want one of these guys to go back into our base. Man, these buildings are really annoying. Usually they're not here because they're kind of in the way, which defeats the purpose a little bit. I almost don't like it because it's flankable. I'll put them together. Should be able to get stuff over here. Get these guys right here. Let's also build ourselves a barracks, which can also be used as a defensive structure. Alright, so these MLRS things are also really awesome. I'll show you in a second. So there you go. You guys see the stupid little tentacle things, which I absolutely freaking hate. They're so annoying. So we're going to actually do our first bombing run right here. These two. So I think the most unfair thing ever about the swarm is the fact that those tentacle things, you can't destroy them. So the only way you're going to get rid of them is by destroying the building. That's literally the only way that you can do virtually anything. Yeah, so you guys see the massive swarm there. So you gotta watch out. Keep your distance. There you go. There's the MLRS, which are really good against the swarm. You guys are going to see the effectiveness there. There you go. Fortunately, we just missed the bombing run, I think. But we're doing pretty good, actually, taking out the swarm here on the left-hand side. And there you go. When you do enough damage, I believe you get reinforced whatever you want. You press what you want to, you know, improve. Still got the swarm stuff going on here. Yep, watch out for those turrets. They will definitely cause you problems. But you need to do good recon in order to be able to use your long range capabilities for sure. You hold shift, you'll be able to, man, these freaking things are retarded. Yeah, so even these APCs, if you push them through the fire, they kind of have problems there. Do A, click, they will do attack move. Yeah, watch out for those little flesh launchers, whatever they are. They're pretty freaking strong. Let's do... kind of have to macro them. Yikes. See him drop some bombs here. Yeah, this game is very, very beautiful overall. Yeah, look at that. Spot on. Alright, I think it's time to move our defense here. So you have to click E on everything. So let's build ourselves a flamethrower. We're gonna need some more power. And in order to increase your supply limit, you need to build supply depots. So if you just go here, click W, you can build that. So we still need to destroy let's destroy that first. Subterranean worm. Maybe this is the thing that spawns all those stupid little things. I think this is the key building that needs to be destroyed here. Just click R. I guess we need to move this guy. Trying to make sure that we have good defenses here too. So we're going to build some power here. So our base defense is going good. We just need a little bit more power so our turrets can be used. Our next zone we're going to capture is this right-hand side here. So we're going to build the complector, which allows you to spawn brutes. Without even thinking about it, it just spawns it, but it does need at least three power sources in order to be effective. Nice thing about the MLRS systems here, very good for defensive things. Also, if you want to repair these massive dreadnoughts, you actually need the Silac, which allows you to repair heavy vehicles. Alright, so let's build a supply depot. So our first one here, this will help you with your population. So we can pop some things out before we advance on the second point here, which I think we need a little bit more infantry. There's really two ways to attack. You could come from here, but you could get attacked from here and here at the same time, which would kind of be rough. So I recommend you go this way instead. And they're primarily just infantry, but this building just spawns in these units over time. Cool thing here, we need to build a foundry real quick. We're still low on power, so let's build another power here. There you go. Prepare things well. You still want to keep somewhat of a defense here because the enemy will counter-strike eventually. Let's get some recon overhead here. Definitely want to destroy that. Just kind of on the outskirts here. You already see a bunch of enemy. I think what we could do here... Drop some napalm. Let's take these guys, create a little wall. We're not going to assault just yet, but we are going to create some defensive structures here by putting guys in. Should help us out a little bit. So you guys see some, these are the host Ruptor and the Cerberus creature. The Cerberus creature is actually very, very intense. And you guys will see why in a minute. So the Cerberus is very, very intense creature, super strong, and also when it dies, it creates like this building that spawns more spam units, which is not fun to deal with at all. This will allow us to unlock the large warehouse, which gives us more population, which is awesome. So we're going to call in our secondary reinforcement here. And this is going to help us push on the enemy zone, which will be awesome. We're going to drop some heavy bombs right here on all of these structures. You see the enemy charging in. Oh shit. We actually lost one of our massive dreadnoughts. Lack of paying attention there. Kind of the unfortunate thing about being super spread out and having to deal with so many freaking units. Let's push this up. As you guys can see, pretty effective over here. I would like to consolidate. Let's bring everything together. There you go, we just captured our second zone right there. And the same thing goes for a large warehouse, which only costs 5. in space, but it gives you 90 plus population, which is huge, which will allow you to be able to build, you know, different things. You guys will see once it dies, it turns into this building thing here. And once that gets destroyed, it actually spawns more swarms. There you go. They're rushing us pretty hard right now. I do like the voice actors there. Quite a lot going on trying to stop this behemoth from coming in. I mean, look at that. It's incredible. So if you wanted to use the radar and see the unseen, you just do that, click E, and you're able to see everything you want to see. Oof, we just lost one of our MLRS systems here. So fire seems to damage pretty much every unit, so be careful. This is exactly why we brought in the repair vehicle here. Can come in and fix things up. So it looks like this little Brem actually can fix the Dreadnaught when it's in movement mode, which is a huge plus. We're struggling on power a little bit. Let's get more power. Sweet. Let's push up our Dreadnaughts here. And there you go. We have our reinforcements coming in now with some tanks as well as some BTRs, which is what I built in the group beforehand, which I think is a good balance. Definitely need a mixture of units in order to deal with the spam and also heavier units. Unfortunately, also with the MLRS, they kind of light everything on fire, which kind of sucks. And when that happens, you pretty much got to be really careful with your units here. So what I want to do is actually build more radars so we can do more recon here. We're going to airdrop some units. These towers are actually pretty strong. There you go, you see the enemy calling in for reinforcements here. Should be able to destroy a lot of this here. Yeah, look at that. This is pretty intense. Let's go back to the radar since we have multiple. Oh, well, we just used that. Let's grab ourselves another radar. So the more of these you build, the more of the same unit you could actually use, which is pretty awesome. We can actually call in more arty too, which is awesome. There you go. We're kind of burning everything here. So we're getting pretty close to, I think, annihilating the enemy here. Gonna do 2 more bombing runs. And you guys can see some more stuff over here too. So I think we need to push up even more. We got quite the swarm coming in right now. All right. Gonna move this main cannon up here. Gonna move this Dreadnaught up. There you guys see those little tentacle things that come out of the ground, which are super annoying. Ooh. Get a swarm going on here too. So the enemy definitely doing a lot more as they feel pressure of losing. But we gotta be a little bit more proactive here. Redeploy these MLRS systems, hopefully into an effective range here. The enemy. We gotta deal with that little monster. Super annoying. Great. Fucking A. Come back here. Nice, this thing's just wrecking everything. Nice. This is awesome. Like I was telling you, these things are super strong. I mean, look how much it's taking you just to take this thing out. Regular units really don't stand a chance against this thing. Ah, crap. Man, they really are just swarming me right now. Everybody focus on this thing. We should be able to finish it up right here. I think we're about done here. So yeah, overall, my impressions of this game is it's super fun to play. It can be pretty challenging, especially as you tick up that enemy defense or the enemy difficulty. It definitely gets harder. We're very, very close. I think we don't have much left here. Looks like we have this thing here. So I think what we're going to do here. Fairly certain we cleaned up everything we needed to over here. Gonna look around, make sure we didn't miss anything. I don't think so. I think we got all the buildings. All that's left of the enemy is right here. So all we have to finish off, I think, is this last unit here. Should be fairly easy to do here. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are victorious. So it's nice. It does give you the stats here. How many casualties you took, your losses. Losses in supply units. Enemy units killed. It's actually one of the least amount I've had. But enemies killed in supply units, we had over 4,000. It's pretty good. Buildings destroyed, 106. Shots from large caliber, quite a bit. And resources collected. So my overall impressions with Dust Front is it is really, really fun. It is super challenging to go up against those tentacles that come out of the ground. They can do a lot of damage to you. I mean, as you guys can see in the video here, there's going to be new, obviously other factions. Kind of looks like there's an alien race too. You have the mutants, you have rebels, and then I think we're going to have some sort of alien faction. It's fairly well balanced. You know, if you don't know what you're doing at first, it can be confusing. But overall, super easy to play. You know, you're able to do pretty much everything you can in average command and conquer style type of RTS game. It's definitely a game you probably want to wishlist and follow the development as it goes. So before we get too far into the video, the majority of you guys come back for the videos, but over 90% of you are not subscribed. So if you can smash that subscribe button, like and share, and hype the video, it would definitely help our channel grow. You can also support us through visiting our veteran-owned clothing brand, which you can check out there. Thank you guys so much for coming and spending your time here. We do appreciate it. It means the world to us. If you want to see specific videos, do let me know, and I will do my best to bring that content to you.